Yeah, I'm sitting here today with the man, Danko Jones, and it's a pleasure to meet you. For me, it's, I've been listening to your music since over 10 years. Oh, cool. To be honest, more when back then, 2016, 17. When was Wildcat coming out? 2000?
Yeah, around that time, 2017, I think. Fire Music came out in 2015, I think, so yeah.
Yeah, of course, some of the older stuff I had to explore a little bit later. I was a small boy when my cousin came to me and told me, you got to check out this band. You like the Bloodhound Gang, you like Linkin Park, check out Danko Jones. And I was blown away, like, I don't know, Had Enough and Code of the Road, all those classics for you, right?
Yeah, we've played them enough for them to be classics in our head. But
yeah, I can imagine. How do you do? And when did you leave Canada and come to Europe again?
We came, when did we leave? I believe we left on Sunday, which was the 25th. So we've been here since the 26th, took the overnight flight. So.
And have you been to the Schwarzwald before, this area of Germany?
Well, I mean, we've played Stuttgart a few times before. We've never been in this little town here before, so it's nice.
All right. I don't want to get too political, no worries, but I got at least one question because you're at least 80% Canadian. I don't know. You got to tell me. But what did you think when Trump offered the Canadian Prime Minister to annex Canada as the 51st state? Yeah. No worries, we can beep any word you say.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just think that's just all for clicks and traffic, online traffic. And it's also, I think he says stuff like that, like kind of outrageous things like that to distract people from all the other stuff that they're passing through. So
that's
distraction.
That could be, yeah. I didn't think about it that way, but that's really possible. Okay, I'm afraid that
they're gutting so much when it comes to health and education. So something like, we want to make Canada the 51st state gets people up in arms and everybody talking about it. Meanwhile, like on the down low, they're slashing all this stuff. So.
Yeah, you're right. It's ridiculous to say something like that even. And I'm a little bit afraid that you had to answer the next question maybe 100 times before, but I got to know something about your way, how you came to music. What was the initial spark? Did you get a guitar for your 10th birthday? I don't know the story. I mean, yeah.
Sure. Well, I got into KISS when I was 6. And and I wrote a letter to the KISS Army, and they sent me a package in the mail. And so, when you get something in the mail when you're a kid, it's kind of a big deal. At least it was back then. I don't know how many packages kids get nowadays with emails and everything, but when you're a little kid, you get a package, and then you get it from KISS. That makes you a fan for life. So that was a definite memorable moment, and it was really KISS that started everything for me.
Would you say that KISS is still one of your favorite bands, or more some kind of idol?
I think both mean the same thing. I don't think they're my idols, though. But I mean, they're like, top 3 favorite bands. I listen to KISS. I don't listen to it every day or every week or even every month, but there is usually like once a year or maybe twice a year where I'll listen to KISS for a large part of the day. I'll listen to maybe an album or two, but it's been a long time. I don't really go to them right away these days, but they're part of my staple of listens, for sure.
All right, and is there some modern band, some new band you just discovered or you're listening to at the moment? Anything?
I don't know. It's hard for me to jog my memory when it comes to new bands. But if you say a name, I'll go yes or no. But
Do you know Red Key?
Yeah, I do. We were supposed to have them come out on our tour last year. They were supposed to open for us, but they dropped out of the tour.
Oh, damn it! I didn't know that, but I really like their sound. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you had a Europe tour last year, and here you are again, and yeah, you still got a lot of gigs coming up. I saw you come to my hometown, Mannheim, on the 8th of December. You play at the Alte Feuerwache. I love this location. Yeah, I gotta be there. I saw tickets are already available via your website. Yeah, and I saw in December this year, for example, you play 6 gigs in a row, 6 gigs in 6 days. I asked that question many artists, I don't know, from Airborne to Wolfmother, Uriah Heep, you name it. I always ask it, but I realized that every artist has his own way to deal with the lack of sleep, nervousness, whatever comes when you're on the road all day long. How do you deal with that, like 6 gigs in a row?
You just get a lot of sleep. You just make sure you sleep at least, 7 hours. If you can get 7 hours, if I can get 7 hours, I'm good. So that's pretty much the important thing. And then I think the next thing after that would be drinking a lot of water. This is from a singer's point of view. Yeah. So you need the sleep more than anything, and then water, and then that's pretty much it. Okay, so say no to alcohol also, I guess. No, not at all. I mean, it just depends on how you drink. Yeah. But for me, like if I don't drink beer very often.
Not even when you're in Germany.
I did drink yesterday because it was part of an interview we were doing. We were doing a beer tasting thing, so I was kind of handcuffed to do it. Okay. But beer will strip your throat. So as a singer, there's all kinds of rules every singer has for themselves. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so next stops are the Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, after that Sweden. You come around a lot, always on the road, and yeah, you're doing that for quite some time. I remember I had an interview with an acquaintance of yours, if I may call him that way, Phil Campbell from Motorhead. Yeah, I interviewed him a few years ago, and he had some really crazy stories to share, of course. I mean, on the road with Lemmy, I guess you heard some of these stories. Do you have any kind of thrilling story, or I don't know, any kind of story from the tour bus, from the backstage, from a fan maybe, from stage, whatever, any kind of story you would like to share? I mean, there's tons, but whenever I get asked this question, I can't think right on the spot. Okay, yeah, I get it. I'm gonna concretize, I don't know the word for it. Was there a strange encounter with a fan ever? Yeah, sure. There's been tons. I mean, yeah, there's been crazy, really good ones, great encounters. But every now and then there's the odd one that kind of is a bit odd to the point where you're not worried, but you just want to be cautious, if that's what you mean. But yeah. Okay, that's a real odd question I got as the next one. I just wanted to know, because me as a German, I'm not particularly proud to be a German. I guess that comes from the fucked up history from Germany. Yeah, some kind of national pride is just not really common in in Germany. I just wanted to ask how you feel as a Canadian, if you feel some kind of pride or... Pride in terms of what? Or would you say you see it more like John Lennon, Imagine There's No Countries? I don't know. I just wanted to know how much you identify with Canada. Well, it's where I was born and raised. We don't really have that kind of way of thinking in Canada, to be honest. I mean, I know I'm blanketing the whole nation with a line like that, but for the most part, I don't think Canadians really think like that. There's no real Canadian pride like you would see in America. And in America, I was in San Francisco a year and a half ago, and after a while, we started just counting the flags because there's just so many everywhere. Whereas in Canada, we kind of already know we're in Canada. We don't really need to raise a flag everywhere we go. So that's the difference between the two countries. So we're more modest. Canadians are known for being pretty modest, and I would agree that assumption is for the most part true.
Yeah, I would agree too. Yeah. Yeah, I just got to ask this question. Before 2013, I saw you, had a lot of drummers, so like 6 ex-drummers. That was at least what Wikipedia says. I don't know if it's true. And then Rich Knox came, and he's been with you since then. But yeah, what was going on before him?
Well, I mean, we've been around for 29 years. And to have 7 drummers in 29 years when most bands don't even last. I think the average lifespan of a name band is 7 years. And a lot of times those bands go through a few lineup changes themselves. So yeah, it just kind of became a running joke that, you know, we go through drummers a lot, but not really. I'm not at liberty at this point to talk about why they left when they're not here to defend themselves, but it ended acrimoniously for different reasons for different people. Yeah. So, yeah.
I get it. John Calabrese, he's been with you since the beginning, right? Since ever.
Been John and I for JC and I for the beginning. Yeah.
How did you come together?
Pretty natural way in any scene in any city. He was in one band and I was in another, and we both played bass in our respective bands, and I would always borrow his amp. So he was the one who had the amp. I didn't have an amp. And then, so when our respective bands broke up, I was ready to switch over to guitar anyway. So I asked him to join whatever it is that I was thinking up.
All right. In Germany, we have the word Riffschmied. I don't know if you heard it before, and I guess most people that listen to rock music think of Malcolm Young or Keith Richards, Pete Townsend, maybe, like mostly guitar players that, that are pretty good in making good riffs. And if someone would ask me, hey, name one really good Riffschmied from these days.
Like a riff maestro, a riff master.
Like a smith, yeah, like a riff smith, yeah. If someone would ask me that, I would definitely call out your name, because it's incredibly how many nice riffs you invented or brought into life. I mean, I would like to know something about this creative part of your work. How do you do that? You must spend so much time with the 6-string in your hands.
No, not really. I don't really play guitar like writing songs until we're given like a deadline, and then I start writing songs. But riffs are pretty easy for me. They've always been easy for me to write. But for every riff that makes the album, there's 10 other riffs that never made the album. So, but I can just come up with, like, give me 10 minutes and I'll come up with 5 riffs for you. So, but are they good? I don't know. So, you know, JC's the one who arranges the songs. So the process of writing now is basically me coming up with a bunch of riffs, coming up with a makeshift arrangement, what I think is the verse and the chorus, and then sending it to JC. And then he and I have a melody to it, not lyrics, but maybe a melody or one line in a chorus, and really, really primitive and raw version of a song, send it to him, and then he will arrange it properly the way it's meant to be. Sometimes for every 4 or 5 ideas I send, maybe one of them gets used. They'll all get arranged, but eventually they'll make the cutting room floor. They won't get used.
Okay, I just had to think of Bruce Springsteen. I don't know what he said about Born in the USA. He had like 36 songs that didn't make the cut. Yeah. So it's similar to...
Yeah, there's tons of ideas for every album. Like, there's 11 songs we put on each album, but there's probably 55 ideas, you know, that probably, like, I don't count, but there's tons of songs that don't even get to the second stage.
Wow, that's incredible. I didn't believe in such a high number. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't bet on. I mean, I'm not. It makes sense for Bruce Springsteen to say that. You're basically throwing a dart against a dartboard, and if you're only going to hang on those 10 that make the album, those are the 10 songs. You're basically saying, well, I hit a bullseye every time, and you realistically don't. The only person I've ever known who does that is Michael Sweet from Stryper. And I don't know if you know Stryper, but he told me he basically writes a song a day, and once he has those 10 songs, he doesn't write anything else. That's the album.
That's a different artistic path.
I mean, maybe he's more versed and more educated in music theory, and he can anticipate the melodies that he wants to get across in a more succinct, more direct way than I do. I'm basically groping in the dark. So a riff that sounds good to me one day, the next day it might not. That's another thing, is for every idea I send to JC, there's 5 ideas that I don't send to him because they don't make my cut. Then they have to make his cut. So there's even more ideas that are left on the cutting room floor.
Wow, okay. I personally sometimes struggle with overthinking or weariness, and your music helps me to clean my mind. I don't know, sometimes it's like my brain just gets blown away, and I use music sometimes to regulate my emotions, and Danko Jones is just...
No, I understand that, sure.
And Danko Jones, sometimes really helps me there. It's... never too much of anything. It's just pure rock and roll. And if I buy a record from Danko Jones, I think I know what I get.
That's pretty much what we strive for.
Yeah. I just gotta ask this question, even if you might hit me in the face after that. If someone would say to you, I'm not saying that, but if someone would say, hey, Danko Jones, you made like 10 records and they all sound the same, what would you answer?
Well, I would say that mission accomplished. We follow the school of AC/DC, Ramones, Motorhead, and Slayer, in the sense that from afar they all sound the same, but what you're actually saying is we have a signature sound. So that is a compliment to me, because when you consider the amount of bands that exist, the amount of people making music, to carve out a signature sound where, people can hear like a minute, not know the song, but know it's you.
More like 10 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the band. That is a compliment. So that's great. I don't really equate experimenting and changing your sound up to be better or more artistically authentic. Doesn't really translate to me like that. I don't really buy into that. But what I do buy into is, and again, that's from far away. If you zoom in closer and listen to the music closer, you will find that actually, no, the songs are different from one another. But you have to know the albums, and you have to know rock music, because there's songs that we like. There's one song that we reference KISS, and then there's another song where we reference like a punk rock band or like a straight up garage rock band. So you won't know that if you just like have a cursory listen while you're like, I don't know, cleaning your sink, So that's the difference. But I don't take any offense to a line like that, because that's kind of what they're saying. And that's a compliment to me.
Yeah, well said. Yeah. For me, I only had a listen to your new record, Leo Rising, once. Of course, I heard the new single, What You Need, a few times, but the other songs I only listened to once. And there were some songs where I had the feeling it's getting a bit more melodic than the older stuff, but it's really subjective.
Yeah, there's more melody in the later stuff. Sometimes we go back to where we were. Like the last song on the new album is definitely harkens back to our garage rock roots because it's just basically a train song. But then there's songs like the fifth and the sixth song, Hot Fox, is more in line with like kind of like our mid period. Then there's songs like I'm Going Blind, which I think is the fifth song, which is, yeah, it's more like not classic rock, but like it was definitely inspired by Creedence Clearwater Revival, which is a band we've never really referenced or taken inspiration from before. So there's always nuances, new, things that we're trying. But again, it's funneled through the sound of the band.
Yeah. I checked out your discography. I guess even in 2002, when your debut album came out, you must have known that you would become a lion one day. I mean, it was named Born a Lion, right?
Yeah, Born a Lion. Well, I'm a Leo. My sun sign is a Leo. So Born a Lion. And it was a line that I sang in one of the songs on the album. And so Leo rising, the rising sign and the sun sign are different. But they're bookending 12 albums. So this is our 12th album. So
okay, yeah, I really like the artwork. I don't know, it reminded me of some medieval picture. If you wanted to say something about that, I don't know.
It does. Well, Adam Mallet did the artwork for this album, and Adam's done some of our T-shirt designs in the past few years. So no, he didn't do that one. But he's done some T-shirt designs from the last few tours we've done. And so he did. We all really like the album artwork for this album. So yeah, and Leo, like he made the connection with lions being used in kind of in regal terms too. So the artwork has some sort of like regal aspect to it.
Yeah, I thought about when I first saw it, I thought it could work as a tattoo pretty well.
We'll see. Once the album gets put up, released, we'll see if anyone does get it as a tattoo.
You often get photos by fans that have a Danko Jones tattoo, of course.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people get tattoos these days, so it happens, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, like I said, I listened to the whole record and I was amazed how fast it went by the time. It's 38 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, we don't really put out long records.
I knew that before, but I'm just saying. And every song between 3 minutes 19 and 3 minutes 37. It's bringing back to songwriting. I just thought you must work like a Swiss watch when it comes to songwriting. I mean, do you never write a song while jamming in the rehearsal room and say, oh, damn it, that's a fucking great song with 2 solos, but now it's 9 minutes long or something, we got to cut it down?
Oh yeah, they get cut down. But we don't really write songs in a room anymore. So, because we don't live in the same city anymore. Yeah. So when I say I send ideas to JC, I literally send them via email to him.
He lives in Finland, right?
Yeah. So we don't get to write like we used to. And that has its pluses and minuses. Like there's been lots of times where we were in a room together jamming on an idea for like almost an hour. And at the end of the hour, we just go, this is shit. So that just wasted an hour. So this way I can kind of like do all that cutting before I send it to him. I've done all the slashing that, might have gone on for an hour if we were in a room together.
Okay, I get it. 11 songs. You said it's always 11 songs. I didn't realize that. Is it always on your records?
Yeah, I think so. I think every album just has 11 songs.
Okay. What You Need, we already mentioned it. It's the first single and we play it on Rock FM like every day. It's in the hot rotation. It's a real banger. I mean, it stands out between, Bon Jovi and Roxette or older stuff we play, of course. It's pretty fresh and it comes in hot. How did it come to life? Or would you like to say anything about that song?
I think I don't really remember when it came about in terms of the songwriting process, but I do know that in terms of all the ideas I was sending JC, I did note that, okay, we need like I haven't really sent him one that's like really fast. Like we had an album called Power Trio, and on that album there's a song called Flaunt It, and that was really fast, and we still play it to this day, and it's pretty impactful. So I wanted to write another song like that because I had been sending him mid-tempo stuff. So that's also another thing, is you're kind of aware of the tempos and how on an album it can't just be the same tempo, whether it's fast or whether it's mid-tempo. Eventually it gets boring. So you want to like temper that with faster, slower songs or mid-tempo songs. So at that point, when I came up with the nub of what eventually became What You Need, I remember we needed a fast song.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's premium signature sound. I mean, I listened to it in the first few seconds. Yeah, I just thought.
Well, I will say this: there is one song we wrote in a room together, "Too Slick for Love," which is the last song on the album. That was written in a rehearsal room in Switzerland last summer, when we were kind of on tour, but we had a lot of days off. So JC got us a rehearsal room in Switzerland, in Zurich, and we just jammed on some. We had a few other ideas that didn't make the album that I thought were actually pretty good, but that one definitely was written in a room together.
I tried to find out which will be the second single, which we will also play on Rock FM, I guess. Every Day is Saturday Night, they told me. Yeah, maybe you could say something about this one.
Yeah, I think that was one of the mid-tempo ones that I was sending at the time. Every Day is Saturday Night is kind of an anthem. Our last album, the song Good Time, was a song that I've wanted to write for a long, long time. For pretty much the whole time we've been putting albums out, I've wanted there to be an anthem, and I just didn't achieve it. Just didn't get it. I don't think we've ever had an anthem until our last album, Electric Sounds, had the song Good Time. So when it came time, and that was the first single off that last record, and it did really well for us. And we all three of us really love playing it live. So let's try and write another one. So that was my attempt to follow up Good Time. I think we did a pretty good job of it. If Good Time was Rock and Roll All Night, that KISS song, then I think Every Day is Saturday Night is Shout It Out Loud, because KISS did the same thing. They came up with this anthem, and then they wanted to write another anthem. And Shout It Out Loud is still played today. It's not as popular as Rock and Roll All Night, but it's still good. Every Day is Saturday Night, I think, is really, really good. We were playing it yesterday in rehearsal, and it sounds really good.
It gets you in the right mood.
Yeah, dare I say it might be better live than Good Time, because there's a lot of lead in Good Time. But Every Day is Saturday Night are just chunky chords played. Yeah, so we'll see. And lyrically, it's just pretty much about how life on the road is, which is, I've said literally that line to people, like your Monday is my Saturday night. And when I'm at home trying to describe to kind of the layperson who doesn't understand what I do, I've used that line before in trying to describe what I do.
Yeah, that's a good metaphor, yeah, or a good picture. In the past, you had a lot of appearances as a guest musician, guest singer, like 2017, one of the most successful Volbeat songs, Black Rose. I think it's in their top 5 streaming list. However, I guess you don't care about those numbers. I love that song, and I love to play it on the radio back then. And in 2021, you worked with Sepultura. Is there a band you would love to work with and maybe will in the future?
I mean, my wishes are every person's wish. I'd love to work with the Rolling Stones and Metallica and with the biggest bands. So I mean, yeah, but it was definitely flattering to be asked by Volbeat, Michael from Volbeat, and from Andreas from Sepultura to sing the songs they wrote. So Andreas, he reached out to me during the pandemic because they were doing these Sepultura, like these quarantine jams that every band was doing at the time. And so they had done it with Scott Ian, and I think they had done it with Dave Ellefson at the time. I can't remember. And I watched them, and I remember thinking to myself, man, I would love to be asked. I would love to do it. And then sure enough, Andreas reached out to me, and I couldn't believe it. I was in such a sad state, depressed state during the pandemic because, like we didn't even know if we could do this again, or how am I going to generate income to pay the rent, really, if this goes on for 10 years. So that really, for me, that was a shot in the arm. Like I really forgot about, what was going on for a little time and was able to sing the song. So initially I think I chose, what did I choose? I can't remember what I initially chose, but then I changed because he goes, choose, what song do you want to do? I'm like, he's giving me the keys to the castle. I'm a long time Sepultura fan. So I eventually chose Sepul Nation because it represented the people who love Sepultura like me. So I thought, oh, this actually is a song I can really get into. And it was a song that Derek sang on the album, not Max. So I would sing it with the singer who sang it. So that was great, singing it with Derek. So that was a lot of fun to do. And then Volbeat, the Black Rose song, that's all Michael. He just gave me the lyrics. He had written the song and he just wanted me to sing it the way he wanted me to sing it. Yeah, like I recorded it, we sent it to them. And then Michael said, actually, can you sing it like this way? So he actually produced how I was to sing it. People think I wrote it with Michael or I wrote the song. I have nothing to do with that. I just sang what Michael asked me to sing.
Yeah, and now I got to ask into the different direction because you also got some special guest on your new record, a guy from Megadeth. A lot of metal fans might know his name.
Yeah, Marty Friedman, who is, we've been friends for a long time, but he's never been on our album. I've been on his. So it wasn't evening up the score or paying back, but the opportunity arose where we had the song, Diamond in the Rough is the name of the song on the album. And there was a solo there, but it harkened back or referenced like a lot of old KISS. It was a song written with a lot of old KISS in mind. Like I was channeling old KISS when I came up with the main riff. And I just know, like Marty and I have always talked about KISS together. I know his two favorite bands in the world are KISS and the Ramones. So I knew that he would be into it. So, it was great. And our previous album, was it our previous album? No, 2 albums before this one. So Power Trio, Phil Campbell did a solo from Motorhead. He did a solo on a song called Start the Show. So not every album, but there's a lot of albums of ours where we have a guest. And so this one was kind of calling for it. So we kind of have 2 guests on it. But Marty's like yeah.
I didn't know. Okay.
What?
Who's the other one?
This woman, Tess Marie, she just sang some backup vocals for a couple of the songs. But she's in a band herself, yeah. So Chasing Heroes, she's in a couple of bands. But she was brought in, a friend of a friend brought her in, and she did some backup vocals on, a couple of the songs. Hot Fox and...
I Love It Louder?
No, not on I Love It Louder, but...
I love that song. It got that Danko Jones humor somehow, yeah.
Oh, yeah. On the title, I get it. It's a play off that. But, but Marty's like definitely, he does a solo on it and is featured on the track.
All right. I guess we have to come to an end. Time is running out, but I got a few last questions. You achieved a lot and you rocked so many places, festivals, so many people. You said, yeah, you would dream of maybe going on tour with the Stones one day or Metallica. I mean, who knows? What else do you dream of?
I mean, I think it's pretty much what everybody dreams of, the same thing, like success in their field. You know, we don't do too badly, but there's always room for improvement, and you can always play bigger places, which is eventually, I think, what every band wants to. Every band wants to fill stadiums and arenas and stuff, and I'm no different. Love to be able to do that. But on the other hand, you know, where we are and what we've been able to do is great too. You know, like we're able to tour abroad, you know, which is, I can't say that for a lot of Canadian bands. They only tour Canada, and in Germany there's only bands who tour Germany. And if you can tour internationally, the world kind of opens up a little bit more and you get to experience a lot more. And that's always a good thing and a fun thing. I just want to continue doing what we're doing, maybe have it get bigger, of course, and that's pretty much what I would like.
A return to Rock am Ring would be nice. I just watched the video from, oh man, it's been a while, I don't know, 2006?
2022.
In 2022, yeah.
Yeah, 2022 was the last time we played Rock am Ring in Rock am Park.
And the first time was, yeah.
There's a huge gap between that, yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. I wish you all the best. And I don't know, nobody came in yet, so I got one more fun question. It's a nonsense question. If you could go back in time, if you would have a DeLorean and could go to any concert or festival, which one would it be?
Right. Probably KISS in 76, 77. Maybe Master of Puppets 86 tour. There's a couple of other ones, but those are the ones that come to mind. Whenever Love Gun came out, I can't remember if that was 76 or 77. But anyways, that tour, KISS Love Gun tour, that would be amazing. I would love to see that.
Sounds good. And do you have any good advice for a young band that is struggling, achieving success? I mean, should a band even be in it today for success?
I don't think any band should be in it for success as the initial starter. The reason why I started playing live and trying to start bands wasn't, well, of course, everybody wants to be a huge success, and you know, everybody wants to do that, whether you're a doctor or whether you're you know, whatever. But really, the initial thrust of wanting to is just to play live. Like I wanted to just get on stage and play live, whether it's in front of 10 people or 100 people. 100 people would be great. 10 people would be a thrill as well. I just wanted to get on stage and play, and then play the songs we wrote for people. And, you know, when it started to click and people actually, you know, what happens is when you play in front of friends. But when you start to notice that people you don't know are coming to your shows, that's when you're like, oh, I think we're onto something here. And that's when, you know, that kind of gives you a little bit of excitement and inspiration to keep going. And that's inspiring. But the initial reason is because you just want to play music, not because you want to become rich and famous. Because really, in 2025, the odds are against you on that, especially if you're just starting out and trying to play rock music too. So they're all stacked against you. Would I do it again if I had to start over in 2025, start a rock band in 2025 to make it a living like I do now? No, because that would be foolish, because it's not that you can't achieve it and it's not possible. It's just, I mean, you're fooling yourself. Whereas back when we started in '96, still, odds are pretty much the same. But there was more of an audience for it. You know, nowadays you're up against Netflix and video games and the internet and Instagram and TikTok and all these other things that don't even have anything to do with music or live entertainment or even the arts. You're up against a guy who makes videos on how to clean your dishwasher. And people are just watching this stuff. And they're not going to go out because, you know, it's like, you know what? I haven't cleaned my dishwasher in like 3 months. So yeah, why don't I do that? That's what you're up against. Whereas when we started, we were just up against like a DJ, or we were up against like another rock band or a hip hop band, or, you know, like it wasn't as wide a you were up against. So yeah, it's different now. So yeah. Yeah.
Would you say it's harder to get people out of their houses, away from their couch, away from their fucking Netflix account?
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's like you're not to pull people out of, you know, the comfort of any movie they want anytime they want it, any album they want anytime they want it, and not only that, but like all kinds of videos, like I said, like whatever it is, and video games and all, you know, that. To get them out of that is really, 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 really hard. So I'm really happy that we're able to tour and we're able to do well in terms of the ticket sales for our fall tour have been really positive, and you know, and also when we came out of the pandemic, we had heard that a lot of bands were canceling their tours, and because people weren't leaving because of, you know, they were worried about COVID and all this stuff. And so we were worried that our tour was going to get canceled, and they never were. So we're just grateful that there are people who come see us. And the reason I think for that is because we have spent years and years and years making sure that our live show is really on point.
Well said. Mr. Danko Jones, thanks a lot. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, same here.